Hello everyone, and manredFC back again. Now I did this video already, so I'm obviously really excited to do it again. Alas, my MacBook did die and it's now in the shop. So I'm really looking forward to that build. So I'm going to crack with my phone and hopefully it works just as well and you can hear me. I know the acoustics aren't brilliant in here. Before I start and do the review, I just want to say thank you to the people that have subscribed. We've got 13 at the moment, which is brilliant. So Don Bull subscribed, which is great. Santana Jonas, Joseph Maynard, and Will Mullins. So thank you very much for subscribing. There are others on here, but it just won't tell me your name. So whether you're anonymous, which is fine, incognito, but it won't let me know who you are. So if you'd like to have a little shout out, please do tell me if you've subscribed, and I will obviously do that for you. Now moving on to the preview, I'm going to be referring to the team selection I've chosen, but also we're going to be looking at the Sevilla players as well, and then hopefully going through supposedly more about what they can offer against us, because let's be honest, our team isn't going to change too much going towards a final. So basically I'm going to bring my team sheet to my right. Now it's pretty similar to my last one. In fact, it's exactly the same. But what I should talk about today is why I think it should be that way and not what Ollie did against Copenhagen. Now, Romero obviously starts in goal. Big concern is his aerial ability, his command of the box. But David De Gea is no different, so it's kind of like we'll toss it in the air and see who wins. Wan-Bissaka has to start at right back for obvious reasons. Lindelof has to come in next to Maguire. Eric Bailly, it's insanity, isn't it? It's like poking a bee's nest. You don't know what's going to happen. You run for your life and you hope that everything's okay. I mean, the chaos that was caused against Copenhagen was alarming, wasn't it? We just really missed that cool, composed element that Victor gives you next to the big giant of a man that is Maguire. Then we've got Williams at left back because we've got no one else. We can't really get Luke Shaw out of retirement or injury list for this game. So Brandon starts. The big change is we cannot have Fred at CDM. I love Fred, fantastic technician, can pop the ball really well, harries really nicely, but his positioning is where he lets himself down. He is not a CDM. And in the last game, in the first 8 minutes, he got dispossessed, we nearly conceded a goal, we poked the bee's nest, and it was hectic chaos at the back. And anything could have happened. I don't know about you, but my heart is in my mouth consistently for probably the first 20-25 minutes, so that's not brilliant. I then have Pogba and Bruno ahead of him. So it's kind of like Matic, Pogba, Bruno. I don't want Pogba next to Matic. I don't know why we choose to put him there. I think if you put Pogba 10-15 yards further up the pitch, you really give the opposition something to think about because he is such a threat. He can shoot, as I've said, he can pass, he can head, he can cross, he can do anything. And then you've got Bruno acting like a fly in all over the place, behind the fullbacks, overlapping, in behind Martial, picking out passes. Who do they pick up? We have no idea. Whereas if he's 20 yards back in front of his own goal, they can just go, well, we'll sit here. Paul Pogba's about 3 years away. He's not going to cause us any problems. Because let's get this right. The goal is the biggest commodity. If Paul Pogba's 70, 80 yards from it, you're probably not going to be that concerned, are you? So let's move him closer. Move him up the pitch. So that's that. Bruno kind of explains himself. Greenwood has to start from the right. We all know this with Wan-Bissaka. He's no Trent of Liverpool, sadly. Although he may hopefully progress in that part of his game. But he won't overlap and cross as much as I'd like to see him. He is getting better. But with Greenwood, you've got a man that can go left or right. So their left back and their left centre back will have a lot of problems, which may give Aaron Wan-Bissaka the extra yard or two. So Greenwood has to start. You know, he scored, offside, sadly. Hit the post, Rashford offside. Poor awareness. Rashford, this is where I debated it. Rashford will start for me. I'll play him from the left, but I didn't think he was that good against Copenhagen, and I haven't thought he's been that good since lockdown. However, he's got a huge back injury. So it's one of those that you've just got to keep playing him unless it is making him worse. We don't want that. It's not worth it. I want Marcus Rashford fit for next season. Yes, I want to win the Europa League, but I'd rather have Rashford fit for next season when we're pushing for more trophies rather than the last 2 games of this season. If he's fine, play him. Okay? Martial up top, unbelievable player. Best season in a United shirt. In his career, won us a penalty. Did a lot of his good work, though, from the left. So if Rashford is struggling or not really doing as much as he should do, Haul him off and get the big Nigerian prince up front. Igalo. He's really good at holding up the ball and we can feed off of him, can't we? So there's a few options there. I think we need to stay away from Bailly, Fred. James cannot play because we're not going to be playing counter-attacking football. Sevilla aren't going to be coming at us. They're going to be sitting back. So when we're looking at Sevilla, they are 4th in La Liga. They have 70 points. They are joint with Atletico Madrid, who we all know are a very good outfit. So it's not as if we're just going to turn up and win. Now, they average a goal every game to concede, so they are partial to conceding, but they score probably 1.5 goals a game. So it's not going to be a high-scoring affair. Bayern Munich, Barcelona. We're not going to see that, hopefully. So if we can get 2 goals, I'd be quite confident that we're going to win the game. And another quite interesting point, and I've been reading quite a bit about Sevilla during this, is that if they go ahead, we still should not panic, because one of their big weaknesses as a side is they cannot hold on to leads. So even if they're 1-0 up, they will concede. The only thing I have to suggest here is that we need to play with a high intent, with high press, high possession, and move them around the pitch. What we can't do is how we started against Copenhagen, sitting back and hoping to pick them off. They won't allow that. They play with good shape and they've got really effective players. As I've said, they don't concede many goals. So we need to be in their faces. We need to see what Ollie keeps saying we are strongest at. And that is being the fittest team on the pitch that runs the most. So let's see it, Ollie. Let's see it. Because if we can get in their faces and score 1, maybe 2, then they're going to have to do something they don't usually do, and that's score more than 1 goal a game. So why not? Start fast, and then end slower. Don't do it the other way, and then find you're in with a bit of a problem, because they will sit on leads. Now looking at players, Aaron Wan-Bissaka obviously starts. Ocampos plays on that side, on the right wing. He is their most influential player. He has contributed 14 goals, 3 assists in 31 games. Now that is fantastic, as we can all say, brilliant. Okay? But his weakness is his discipline. So he will get frustrated quickly, he will lash out, and he will probably get himself a yellow quite quickly if we don't allow him space. You know what Wan-Bissaka's like, get those spider legs in there, cause a few problems. Their central midfielder, who's probably their most effective, is Ever Banega. Again. Oh, what's this? His discipline is a weakness. So if we can really frustrate them, get in their faces and move the ball, they are partial to conceding free kicks and yellow cards. You know, you're more likely to beat a team that's got 10 men than 11, aren't you? Their striker attacking intent is Luke de Jong. Now, he's not particularly weak at anything. He's quite strong across the board, but he's not quick. So they rely on battering the ball into the box. So there will be a lot of crosses. There will be a lot of aerial duels. And don't be surprised to see set pieces laid up to the far stick. Now, they're going to be quite clever. They're going to try and manoeuvre it against the big brick that we have called Harry Maguire. So they'll try and get it onto Lindelof or our fullbacks. So we've got to be quite clever with corners in putting our best headers on their best headers, aka Matic and Maguire. Potentially Pogba's quite good in the air as well, isn't he? But what we can't see is our littlest players marking their biggest, because Luke de Jong is good in the air and they've got very good crosses of the ball. I think if we manage to deal with their aerial threat, we will win the game. We will win the game because that's their main threat. And if we can deal with the Campos from the wing, then they're a bit toothless. We may see Jesus Navas coming off the bench. I'm not sure. He's been in and out of the team. We all know what he's like from his days in the Premier League. Very quick, tricky player. But again, likes to go on his right foot and cross in. You know, he's sensing a theme here. So again, semi-final, massive game. I think we've really got to go for this with the strongest team we can. Hell for leather, get a few goals up. We have to. This is a massive game. One game away from a final and potentially meeting Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez and Ashley Young in the final. So we've got to do it. I think the score is going to be 2-1 to us. I think we'll score first. I think they may then equalise. It'll be a bit of an odd game. Bit bitty, and then I think we'll get another goal later on. But I think we will win, but it's not going to be an easy game at all. It's all relative. They're fairly consistent in their home league, which you'd argue maybe isn't as strong as the Premier League, but they accrued more points than we did. So they know how to play, they know how to win, they know how to get results. I think we'll win, but it won't be by a huge margin. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe today. don't subscribe tomorrow, please do it today. It really does help the channel and keep us going forward. And yeah, we look forward to the game tomorrow, and we'll do a match reaction afterwards. Hopefully I should be smiling and not crying. Take care.